Next on American Movie Classics, James Cagney taps his way to Hollywood in the frolicsome musical comedy, Something to Sing About. It's next on American Movie Classics.
Jack Warner and others at Warner Brothers weren't really convinced that Gig Young was right for the role of Boyd Copeland, so they called the actor to do a test scene. Well, Young was astonished when he showed up at the audition and found James Cagney waiting to appear in the screen test with him. Most stars would have thought that their time was a lot too valuable to waste helping another actor get through a screen test. But Cagney was not like most stars. He wanted Young to have every opportunity to get the part. Well, Gig Young later said, "Jimmy is not only my favorite actor, he's also my favorite person." As you have just seen, Young was great as Boyd Copeland. In fact, his performance was good enough to earn him his first Oscar nomination. It's ironic that playing an alcoholic led to one of Young's finest moments on the screen. In real life, the actor had his own lifelong struggle with alcoholism, a struggle which finally killed him. We'll be right back, but first let's look at this.
This month on American Movie Classics, Jane Fonda as tormented playwright Lillian Hellman.
Maybe I could do better work someplace else. Dash.
Jason Robards as her lover and mentor, Dashiell Hammett.
I don't know what happened, but you better tear that up. It's just not good enough. Not for you.
And Vanessa Redgrave as her lifelong friend, Julia.
Are you as angry now as you used to be?
Late 30s Europe is the backdrop of this volatile tale of two friends who share an eternal bond.
Oh, my God, how serious is it?
Their childhood innocence is long past, but not forgotten.
I love you, Julia.
American Movie Classics proudly presents the powerful drama that won 3 Academy Awards, including Best Supporting Actor and Best Supporting Actress, Julia. It's an American Movie Classic premiering Wednesday, May 20th.
Take an adventurous young lady searching for the perfect romance.
I'm engaged to 500 boys, but that doesn't say I'm going to marry each one of them.
Who's just bubbling over with wit, good looks, and charm. Add to that the greatest pair of gams to grace stage or screen, and you've got America's favorite pinup girl.
That, my friend, is an understatement.
Betty Grable stars in Pinup Girl, part of our salute to the flag-waving 40s, premiering Wednesday, May 27th on American Movie Classics.
Was it simply mistaken identity?
McGee!
I'm sorry, but you didn't give me your right name either, Miss O'Grady. Reporters have to live too, you know.
Well, you'll wish you never did.
Or the start of a beautiful romance?
Just say that Madeline Marlowe has returned home to marry her secret American sweetheart, Mr. Samuel McGee.
This classic romance of the century certainly needs a little explanation, don't you think?
Oh, I can explain it. It's very simple.
Betty Grable stars as Brooklyn's burlesque queen, turned London's sweet songstress.
Put Madeline Marlowe back in mothballs. Be yourself, sweet Rosie O'Grady.
I'm sweet Rosie O'Grady.
Do you love the Duke of Crippingham or Sam McGee?
Robert Young is the New York reporter who spills the beans.
Next time you pick on a burlesque queen, better make it someone your own size and one that isn't Irish. O'Grady's the name.
Marlowe, O'Grady, what difference does it make?
Sweet Rosie O'Grady. It's an American Movie Classic. Sunday.
James Cagney was excited about doing Something to Sing About for Grand National Pictures. Despite his tough guy screen image, he considered himself a song and dance man at heart. Who could ever forget him, for example, as George M. Cohan? I think that was one of his greatest parts. Film buffs will tell you that Cagney got his start in show business as a chorus boy, but that's not exactly true. He got his start as a chorus girl. Here's what happened. When Jimmy Cagney was a teenager, there was a popular and very complicated dance in those days known as the Peabody. My dad showed me how to do it. Well, Joe Hevron, one of the neighborhood kids, knew how to do this really well, and Cagney was intrigued by the dance and asked Joe to teach him. Now, meanwhile, a vaudeville act at Keith's 81st Street Theater in New York needed dancers. Jimmy Cagney needed a job, so he did his one dance step and got the part. Well, the good news was that it paid an unbelievable $35 a week. That was big bucks. The bad news was that the all-male cast had to dress up like women in order to do the dance numbers. Well, at first, Jimmy faked the dancing in the show, but he needed to keep the job, so he memorized the steps and practiced them in secret every night. Well, over the next few years, Cagney learned how to dance from the best performers in vaudeville and the best that they had to offer. He learned by watching and borrowing their steps and adding a couple of his own flourishes here and there. Two great hoofers James Cagney admired and stole from were Harlan Dixon and Johnny Boyle. You were about to see them both, along with that old vaudeville hoofer himself, James Cagney, in Something to Sing About.